Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's What's on My Plate. We're actually just gonna wait about 2-3 minutes to let some people join our live, and yeah, we'll get started. All right, that should be enough time to let everybody join in. So, again, welcome to What's on My Plate. My name is Shakoy. I am the youth program coordinator here at Frontline. So, this week, our topic is dysthymia, and we'll also be making some blueberry pancakes. So, for our first activity, we'll need our handy dandy kits. So open this up. Then you'll see it's out the way. Then take out a sheet of paper. And you should have something, make sure I'm holding it upright, that looks like this. So this is, this is a mood meter. So let's get right into it. So it is important for us to all understand and manage our feelings in any circumstance. So a mood meter is a chart that has two parallel axes, not two parallel, one vertical and one horizontal axis. The horizontal is the level of pleasantness from unpleasant to pleasant, and the vertical is the level of energy, so low and high energy. Okay. Each quadrant is also a different is also represented by a different color. Okay. So each color represents something, and I'll get into that. So even though we experience many different feelings, we can categorize these feelings into groups. Whether our emotion feels pleasant, unpleasant, and whether it consists of a lot of energy or a little amount of energy, all emotion. So let's get into the chart now. So the red in the upper left represents unpleasant and high energy emotions, such as being afraid or being angry. The blue in the lower left, this side, the blue in the lower left represents unpleasant, low energy, like being sad. The yellow in the upper right represents a pleasant, high energy, like when you're happy or excited about something. And green is pleasant, low energy, so like you're just calm, cool, and collected. For each quadrant, I want you to think about this. What do our bodies feel when we have this feeling? So for the top, when you're angry or afraid, how do you feel? In the blue, when you're sad, how do you feel? Green, when you're calm, how do you feel? And yellow, when you're happy, how do you feel? So I'm going to give you all a moment to write how you feel when you're angry or afraid, you're sad, you're calm, and when you're happy. I'll give you all 2 minutes to do that. But also, while you guys are doing that, I also want you to think of what might your face look like when you have those feelings. So how does your face look like when you're mad? How does your face look when you're sad? How does it look when you're happy? And how does it look when you're calm? And also, I want you all to think about as well is what kind of thoughts do we have in these feelings? So what kind of thoughts are racing through your mind and going through your head while you're experiencing these feelings? I'm allowed 2 minutes for y'all to get into that and think about that. Okay, so now that you guys have this and could identify, oops, sorry, wrong way. Now that you guys have this sort of filled out, I want y'all to close your eyes and take a deep breath. And I want you to mentally walk through a regular day for you. So let's go through your head a regular day. And and just think about your feelings throughout the day. So when you wake up, how are you feeling? And point it and think about it on the mood meter. So how you're feeling. So when you wake up, how are you feeling? Are you angry, afraid, sad, happy, or calm? When you arrive at school or when you log in for virtual learning, how do you feel? Are you happy, angry, calm, sad? How do you feel at lunch? How do you feel after school? How do you feel when you go home? How do you feel right now? As you're mentally picturing this, do you notice any patterns? When do you feel the most energized? And when do you feel the most tired? So essentially, this chart is used to help us manage our always putting it upside down. So essentially, the chart is used to always manage our feelings, right? So managing our feelings and being able to identify how we feel will help us feel better and be able to deal with stressful situations better. It also creates a stronger relationships with others while using empathy. We also be able to be more productive through the day because we're able to identify and know how we feel about ourselves. So again, the mood meter is a helpful way to think about the different types of feelings and emotions that we go through. And we're able to pinpoint those emotions on the meter as well. For daily practice, if you guys would like to use this in your daily routines or anything, always refer to the mood meter and ask yourself, how are you feeling today? Where does it fall on the meter? And also, if you say you're feeling angry, happy, sad, calm, what is causing you to feel that way? Think about what is causing you to feel that way. And when you have identified that, think about your emotional goal for the I want you to set an emotional goal for yourself for the day. Determine how you want your feelings to shift on the mood meter. Think about if you want your feelings, if you want your feelings to shift on the mood meter, or do you want it to stay the same? And what strategies can you use to achieve that goal each day? So that is it for our first activity. Thank you guys for joining me with that. I'm gonna wash my hands and we'll get right back into making our blueberry pancakes. Be back in a sec. Okay, we're back. So we'll be making our blueberry pancakes. So in your kits, you guys, sorry. So in your kits, you guys should have received milk, blueberries, sugar, and salt. So be careful, guys, because it looks similar. So before we add this into our bowls, we're gonna taste so we know which one's which. So this is sugar and salt. flour, eggs, baking powder, and butter. So first things first, what we're going to do is that we need to get our butter melted, right? So we need a half a tablespoon. So since you have a stick of butter, you guys should have got half a stick. On the butter, it has the proportions, how much is what. So you want half a tablespoon. So I'm going to cut half a tablespoon. Have my half a tablespoon. So you're going to want to put it in a small bowl. And what you're going to do now is go to the microwave and you're going to want to melt it. You're going to put it in until it's fully melted. So 1 second while I go melt my butter, and I suggest you go do the same as well. Okay, so now got my butter melted. So you're gonna need a big bowl and a strainer, something to sift your flour. If you don't have anything to sift, don't worry about it. It's fine. So you're gonna use your whole bag of flour. Oops. A whole entire bag. And we're just gonna sift it into the bowl. Okay. So remember I said you have salt and you have sugar. Make sure you guys put a little bit on your finger. You taste so you know which one's which. So this is my sugar, and this will be my salt. Just to be safe. Yeah, that's my salt. Okay. So you're gonna sift in. Oh, and also you're gonna sift in 1/4 a tablespoon of sugar. And you're also gonna sift in 1/2 a tablespoon of salt. Sorry, 1/4 teaspoon of sugar and 1/2 a teaspoon of salt.
Oh, you're still here. There you go. Give me the keys. I locked the office one, so you can just lock
Cool.
it. And you know everything, right? The code. Bye.
Later. Sorry about that, guys. All right. And you're also going to need 1 tablespoon of the baking powder. Perfect. Good. You want to sift this in Like I said, if you don't sift it in, don't worry, it's fine. And then you're going to give this a quick stir together so it's all incorporated. Okay. So now you're going to need a small bowl. And what you're going to do is crack one egg into the bowl. You're also going to take your milk and add 1 cup of milk. And with the carton, that's this whole carton. But just to be safe, it should be this whole carton, but to be safe, I'm going to measure it out. Okay, so it's not the whole carton. So measure out 1 cup of milk. And then you're going to beat your eggs and your milk together. Okay. So now you're going to get your big bowl again. And you're going to stir in your egg and milk mixture into this big bowl. So it helps if you add a little bit at a time. And you don't want to stir it too much, just until it's incorporated. You just want to get it all incorporated together. Also add in your butter. Sorry, I'm using a whisk. It's all getting stuck in the whisk. Give me 1 second. Out. So if you feel like your batter is a little too thick, like mine, just gonna want to add a little bit of milk at a time. Okay. So now take your your blueberries, and you're gonna want to add in a cup of blueberries. I'm gonna measure out a cup here. So this is a 1/3 cup, by the way. That's why I'm putting 3 of them. And you're going to want to fold in your blueberries to the batter. Again, I'm going to add a little bit more milk to mine. Just to make sure it's nice and incorporated. There you go. It should batter be nice and gooey. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the stove with our frying pan or skillet, and we're going to start making some pancakes. So we're going to let this sit for about like 5-10 minutes, not even 10. Just going to let it sit while we go set our pan up and get it ready. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we're at the stove, we're going to turn on our burner, and we're going to set it to medium. We're going to want to lightly grease our frying pan and skillet, so I chopped up some of my extra butter to use. So I'm gonna let that melt in there. I'm gonna add a little bit more butter. All right, so now that we got our pan nice and oiled and it's bubbling, we take it. And the batter's been sitting for a bit. We're gonna take it. So about 1/4 of a cup is how big you want your pancakes. So I'm gonna use a ladle for me, but about 1/4 of a cup. That's how much batter you should use. Here we go. What you want to do is you want to brown both sides. So my pan is a little bit too hot. We all know the first pancake always turns out the ugliest, so don't mind it. It may not look like the perfect pancake, but it's going to be delicious nonetheless. And just a tip, I know I didn't tell you guys to do this, but just a tip, if you want to keep the rest of your pancakes warm while you're making others, you would want to preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius and then just put them on the tray in the oven and keep them warm until you're all done. This pancake's still not fully cooked, still soft in the middle. And yeah, make sure your pancake's not only cooked on both sides, but also in the middle as well. Just make sure your pancakes are cooked on all sides. I know you're not supposed to play with it as much as me, but just making sure. Ta-da! That's the first pancake done. So what we're gonna do is add some more butter. And we're gonna add some more batter. So while we're making these pancakes, since it's gonna take a while, I'm gonna have a discussion with you guys about what? Dysthymia is. So dysthymia can affect children and adolescents. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait till we're done cooking before we get into talking. So we can enjoy our meal and talk together. See that? Ta-da. So yeah, you want to brown both sides. That beep is just my oven. It preheated to 200 degrees. Again, add more butter. And add more batter. All right. So normally, how to tell when the other side is brown and when to flip, around your pancake, you should see bubbles popping. So when a lot of bubbles start to form and pop, that's what you can always check. That wasn't a good flip, but got the job done. Right? All right, so this is going to be our last pancake. Add our butter, let it melt. It's going to be a big pancake, so don't mind it. So this one is a little big, so it may take a little bit more time. at that beauty. I just want to take a look at this side. Ta-da! This one's still not fully cooked. It's a lot of not cooked. My pancake. Okay. So I put my pancakes in the oven that's preheated to 200 degrees just to make sure the insides get fully cooked, especially on that big one. I just need to use up the batter so I could get back into the conversation with y'all. All right, so dysthymia. So now we're going to get into our discussion about dysthymia. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment box and I'll put it up on the screen and we'll answer it together. But if not, I'm just going to give y'all some facts about what dysthymia is and what it's all about. And if you have any questions, again, don't forget, comment down below, beside, wherever the comment box is. Drop a comment, ask your question. If you have to chime in on anything that I'm saying, feel free to chime in. We're all in this together. All right, so dysthymia can affect children and adolescents. Girls are more likely than boys to experience a depressive disorder. So dysthymia is a persistent depression, essentially. So again, girls are more at risk than boys to develop a depressive disorder. So like other types of depression, it causes continuous feeling of deep sadness and hopelessness. These feelings can affect your mood and behavior as well as your physical functions, including appetite and sleep. As a result, people with dysthymia often lose interest in doing activities they once enjoyed and have difficulty finishing daily tasks. So difficulty doing things throughout the day, and they don't normally like to do things that they used to like doing. These symptoms are seen in all forms of depression. However, the symptoms are less severe and longer lasting. So unlike other depressions with dysthymia, the symptoms are less severe, so you won't be as sad as a regular depressive depressive disorder, but The lasting effect of sadness will be longer with dysthymia than others. They can persist for years, and many interfere with school, work, and personal relationships. So relationships could be family, friends, or with a significant other. The chronic nature can also make it more challenging to cope with the symptoms, so harder to deal with it. That's why in our first activity, we did a mood meter for you guys to be able to pinpoint and jot down how you're feeling and why you feel like that. So it can start early in life, even in childhood. There can be ups and downs in moods, but lower moods dominate and are more persistent. The exact cause of dysthymia is really unknown. It may involve more than one cause, such as biological differences. People with persistent depressive disorders may have physical changes in their brain. The significance of these changes is still uncertain, but they may eventually help pinpoint the cause. Um, inherit traits. So persistent depressive. So depressive disorders appear more common in people whose blood relatives also have a depressive condition. So you're more likely to have a depressive disorder if someone in your family has a depressive disorder, as science claims. Research is also trying to find genes that may be involved in the depressiveness relations. And then also life events. So as with major depression, traumatic events, even a loss of a loved one, financial problems, or a high level of stress can trigger persistent depressive disorders in most people. That is it. Is there any questions for me today, guys? Let's get our blueberry pancakes so I can enjoy that on camera with you guys. I'll be right back. Voila! Looks beautiful, right, guys? I don't exactly have any syrup with me or any utensils right now, so I'm gonna just go for it. Actually, pretty good. So I hope you guys, sorry. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week of What's on My Plate. Please join us again next week and take care and always be safe, guys.